for the YouTube video. Hey, thanks for coming to Brioga. Today we're going to be working on general alignment, a little bit of hip flexor stuff, and some neck positioning. We're going to start on the wall. We're going to put our heels, hips, and shoulders on the wall, and our hands on the wall. Don't worry about if there's a little curve in your lower back and your lower back's not touching the wall, that's okay. Just get both hips on there. And start to take some extremely deep breaths. Really focusing on your exhale. Oh God. Pushing every bit of air out of your body to the extreme. And the reason for that is because it activates your diaphragm. I've been taking a free course from this company called Z Health that works with people based on their central nervous system responses. And that was an activity they did. And I was like, cool, I do that every day. Didn't really learn a whole lot of new stuff though, unfortunately. We'll stay for 5 more of our deepest breaths. And then we're going to walk our feet out from the wall, 2 or 3 feet. It shouldn't be very difficult at all. Bend your knees just a little bit and press your lower back to the wall. Take deep breaths. Make sure the outside edges of your feet are straight, pressing your big toes in the ground and pointing your toes at your knees at your outside 3 toes. And we'll stay for 5 more deep breaths. And then put your hands on the wall and push to stand back up. And then I want us to stand with our toes all the way together and our legs tight. And squeeze your glutes. And if that's a lot for you, you can just do that, that's fine. If you feel like you can do a little bit more, you can take your hands, interlace your fingers, press your palms away, and reach straight up slowly. And we'll take 5 more of our deepest breaths. And then slowly bring your hands down, down, down. Good. And undo your feet. And let's go ahead and lie on our backs. Take your time. And when you've arrived, see if you can put your fingers on your hip bones, 2 fingers, and your thumbs around the side of your hips. Now you have your pelvis in your hands. Roll the top fingers and your pelvis forwards, lifting your lower back a little bit, maybe feeling a little pull on your head, and then roll your back all the way flat to the ground. And just go from one point to the other, as far as you can go. Comfortably forward, rolling your tailbone to the ground. And when you roll back, just to put your back flat. Don't roll so far that your hips come off the ground. Go at your own pace, and remember when you're exhaling to press every bit of air out of yourself with each breath. Let's do 2 more. Great. And then grab your block and put it between your knees. Put your hands out beside you, palms up. And press your big toes down into the ground and squeeze your pillow or block for 2 or 3 seconds. And then relax all the way, but not enough to drop it. And we're just going to repeat that. Never stop pressing your big toe. Never stop exhaling fully. And I like to press during my exhale. It gives it a little bit more time. And let's do it 4 more times at your own pace. And then set your block. Actually, hold your block. I want you to squeeze it and hold it. And then leave your heels on the ground, lift your toes. Set your toes down, spreading them, and then lift your heels. All the while holding your block firmly between your knees. Okay, now set your block beside you. And let's make our feet extra wide, about as wide as your mat if you have a mat. And roll both knees way over to the side like we do. Allowing them to settle. Let's let them settle today for like 3 to 5 seconds. And then carefully, gently roll them back, feeling that line of contact across your hips as you roll over to the other side. And don't forget to exhale fully with every breath. And now we'll put the bottoms of our feet together and allow our hips to rest out to the sides. And then let's work on putting our feet flat to the floor, pointing our knees up. And then we'll lengthen our legs out. Widen your feet, turn your toes out, and squeeze your glutes all the way. And relax in slow motion. Try to be sure that you're not squeezing your back or your stomach. If you need to, you can put your hand there. And also notice if your glutes are relaxing a little bit differently when you're relaxing in slow motion. One's faster than the other. Try and focus on the slow one and get your glutes to act in unison, both contracting and relaxing. Let's do about 5 more butt squeezes. You should be noticing that they're relaxing a little bit more similarly now if they weren't at the beginning. Okay, that's good. And then let's bring one knee up to our chest, our right knee. Let's start with that. Now we're just going to put both of our hands, interlacing our fingers over the front of our knee, bend our elbows in, and pull it in with a moderate amount of force. And then that foot, I want to do a little foot winding. So do a big foot wind, use your toes as much as you possibly can. And switch directions, curling and spreading your toes in time with your winding. Looking for as much movement as you can get through every degree of the rotation. Okay. Maybe pull your knee in a little bit closer now that it's more open. On your straight leg, pull the toes back, tighten your thigh, and try and turn your knee out to the side and then back in. And as long as your leg's tight, that's all going to happen at your hip. Okay, and then relax your long leg and release your bent leg. And just do like 3 butt squeezes. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to bring our left leg in, interlacing our fingers over the front of our knee. Moderate amount of force. I just blanked. I don't know if I said begin winding your foot, but definitely start winding your foot. Use your toes as much as you can. And then switch directions. And then pull your toes back on the opposite leg, tighten that leg, your straight one. And then focusing on your awareness of your knee, turn it out to the side and then to the inside a little bit. Couple more times. And then let's release our left leg, relax our right leg, and we'll do 3 butt squeezes. Always Always relaxing in slow motion. And then let's point both of our hands straight up. See if you can point both of your knees straight up. Now, if that's tough for you, this can be your starting position with your feet on the ground. If you're doing it the regular way, you're going to open up your opposite hand and hip, touch the ground with your foot and your hand, and then go back to the starting position, and then do the opposites again. If you're a person with both feet on the ground, I want you to bring one hand back and one knee up, and then set it down. I'm going to do it the regular way. Keeping your lower back absolutely flat is the most important thing of this exercise. If you find that you can't keep your lower back flat through the range of motion, either reduce your range of motion or try the regression. Let's take a break. See if you can get a hold of your strap. And let's put it over both of our legs. Give it an extra wrap or two, and then put your feet back on the ground. Hands out to the sides, somewhere, palms up. And press your big toe down and press out on the strap. Remember to exhale fully each time, always maintaining big toe pressure. And I recommend pressing out on the strap for the whole duration of your exhale, however long that may be. Let's do it 5 or so more times at your own pace. And now hold the press out on your strap and lift your heels. And then lift your toes. And go back and forth. Okay. And then let's strap our knees all the way together, as close as they get. Very snug. And we're going to roll over onto our left side. Our knees are up at a right angle. Our hands are straight out in front of us, matched up. And we're going to open our top arm up behind us and allow our arm to fall into a twist. And just look right at that hand, and we're going to hang out for a couple minutes. And then we're going to close it, bring our arm back over our body, putting our hands together. And then we're going to roll over onto our opposite side. Bringing our knees up to a right angle, hands out in front of us. And then open our top arm and look right at our hand. And then we're going to bring our hand back over our body, placing our hands together and resting for a moment. And then we'll undo our strap. And just sit it somewhere beside you. And then we're going to do one of my most favorite things. We're going to put our legs up the wall. Now remember not to get so close that you can't put your hips on the ground. We'll put our legs straight up and engage our quads, thighs just a little bit to make sure that our knees are pretty straight. And then pull your toes down towards your shins. Press your hips into the ground to create a little more tension on your legs. Keep your quads super tight and roll your knees out to the sides and back to the inside. Try not to let your knee bend at all. No knee bending. And then make your legs as wide as they're going to go comfortably. And do a little bit of the same. Now expect to have a much more limited range of motion in this wide position.
All right, now we're going to bring our feet into each other. Just kind of bend your knees, let them slide in, and see if we can actually scoot back 3 or 4 inches first. And then we're going to put the strap over our legs. And we're going to put our feet and knees together. And our hands somewhere up above us or beside us where our arms can be relaxed. And we're just going to hold our knees together for about a minute. And then we'll strap our knees together so it's a little bit more relaxing, but we're going to be fine. Okay, now we're going to strap our knees all the way together. And then we'll just relax. Hands up above you or beside you somewhere where your arms can be relaxed. If you're finding this position to be sort of intense, you can scoot back a little bit to make it less intense. Now we're going to walk our feet apart from each other a little bit. Try to leave them so that they're pointing straight up the wall. Then we're going to hang out here for a couple more minutes. And don't forget to breathe 100% of the air out of your body with each breath. Really utilizing and training the diaphragm, reminding it and giving yourself a better opportunity to breathe with your diaphragm throughout your day. And then let's bring our feet back together. And we'll do a heel lift and a toe lift, back and forth. Okay, let's open up our strap and let our legs out of it. And then we're going to turn ourselves, or we just get away from the wall so that you can lay flat. Get extremely comfortable for a few minutes. You can either lay totally still or you can do some more butt squeezes. I think I'll do a little of both. Okay, let's begin to move ourselves a little bit, wiggling our toes, spiriting our fingers, jazzing our hands. Do a little bit of reaching and twisting, and generally anything you feel is needed. And then you can either stay laying down or you can return to a seated position. And again, like I am every week, I'm so happy that you could all take this hour to spend with me, working on our bodies and making sure that we're doing good and feeling fine.